Hello, welcome to VidyaNest. From last day onwards, we are doing binomial theorem, and in short span, we will recall what we are taught in the last class. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. See, this expansion we did in last class. N's power is reducing and excess power is increasing. In this way, the series will be expanded and it will terminate at x to the power n. That expansion of binomial, here two terms are involved, that's why it is called binomial. Had this been three terms, then trinomial, and more than three, multinomial. Now we got general term in the expansion TR plus 1 NCR a to the power n minus r x to the power r. ठीक है, ये लास्ट डे ये हुआ था. Now we converted the binomial into the expansion of multinomial. We got to x to the power m whole to the power n. Okay, it is expansion of multinomial theorem. Okay, that expansion we had taught last day. Summation of factorial n by p1 factorial, p2 factorial, p3 factorial up to pm factorial. See, ये जो x1 है ये रिपीट होगा p1 टाइम्स, x2 p2 टाइम्स, xm pm times. So these p1, p2, pm are what? Where sum of, or don't write in words. देखो ये p1 plus p2 plus p1 plus p2 up to pm, ये है n, where non-negative integers. So we could reach up to this stage. We could reach up to this stage last day, multinomial, and one sum also we did. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let us do one sum from this multinomial theorem. Then अगर एक सम हो जाएगा तो ये जो देखने में बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स लग रहा है ये डाइल्यूटेड हो जाएगा. ठीक है? Two sums we'll do on this theorem, multinomial theorem. First sum, randomly I am choosing. Next sum, from yesterday's JEE question. Okay. See, find the coefficient of x to the power 7 in 1 plus minus 2x square whole to the power 10. Okay. So, students, you are told to find the coefficient of x to the power 7 in the expansion this. Now, you take the reference from here. See, this sum, how can connect to this theorem? Here, m numbers are there, here 3 numbers are there, more than 2. So, trinomial or in the context of multinomial, you can judge. What is n over here? Here n is 10. And these, non-negative integers, you have to take for each one 3x and minus 2x square. So, you rewrite this, keep that thing in mind, summation of factorial 10 divided by, see, the first element 1, here first element x1, 1 recurs, say p1 times. So, I am taking p1. Then next element is 3x. 3x occurs p2 times. p2, and that minus 2x square, that occurs p3 times. So, यहाँ पे जो सम है एक ट्राइनोमियल है, so I can consider this as the part of multinomial. So, there are 3 terms and power is 10. So, n is nothing but 10. And 3 terms, these x1, x2, x3, x3 up to xn, here 3 terms, 1, 3x and minus 2x square. So, each term, this 1 repeats say p1 times, 3x repeats p2 times, and minus 2x square. Third term repeats p3 times, means 1 to the power, according to this theorem, according to that theorem, ये x1 का पावर है p1, so 1 का पावर है p1, थ्री एक्स का पावर है p2 एंड माइनस 2x का पावर है p3.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now how p1, p2, p3 related? इसका जो समेशन है वो 10 होगा. हाँ, यहाँ पे देखो p1, p2, p3 अप टू pn, समेशन वो एक्सपोनेंट n होगा. तो p1 plus p2 plus p3, that will be 10. वन इक्वेशन मिला. नाउ हमको फाइंड करना है x to the power 7 का कोएफिशिएंट. सो लेट अस सिंप्लीफाई इट, रिमूविंग द ब्रैकेट्स with the laws of exponent. Factorial 10. 1 to the power anything is, it will remain 1. p2, ये देखो 3 और x दोनों का पावर है, तो 3 to the power p2, x to the power p2, and this p3 is the power of minus 2 as well as x. Now, factorial 10, P1, P2, P3. You do one thing, the numerical coefficient will be clubbed in a bracket.
Okay, sir.
ये अच्छा होगा, otherwise the complex calculation sometimes put the student in tension. And ये जो है x laws of indices power will be added. P2 plus P3. Now हमको फाइंड करने के लिए बोला है कि कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ x टू द पावर 7, पर हमको मिला कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ x टू द पावर P2 plus P3, है कि नहीं?
हाँ सर,
P2 plus P3.
P3.
So, and one, but there is one mistake of mine. There is 2x square. I forgot to put that. Just wait. 2x square. Big mistake. So, that will be 2x square x2 P3, है कि नहीं? ये 2 P3 के साथ मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा. हाँ,
यस सर.
हाँ, अब आया प्रॉपर फॉर्म. जो हम कंसिडर किया था कि कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ x टू द पावर 7 निकलना है, पर हमारा निकल गया क्या? x टू द पावर P2 plus 2P3. तो ये P2 plus 2P3 तो 7 होगा, है कि नहीं?
हाँ सर.
हाँ. So we can compare and see what we'll get. Therefore, P2 plus 2P3 वो 7 है. So we have got two equation from this trinomial. Now two equation को solve करके हमको P2, P1, P2, P3 अलग अलग जो distinct element को निकालना है. And for this we will make a table. Let us make one table. P1, P2, P3. Because two equations are given, three variables, so we have to choose the number randomly and get the solve. First of all, see what possibilities can come. If I and what is P1, P2, P3 है क्या? All are non-negative integers. है? Fraction नहीं है, negative part नहीं है, 0 और 0 से ज्यादा integer. Okay?
Okay sir.
So अगर हम P2 0 ले, if I choose P2 as 0, P3 fraction आएगा. क्यों? 2 P3 7 हो जाएगा, तो P3 हो जाएगा 7/2, but it is integer, so we are not allowed to take P2 as 0. ठीक है? हाँ, P2 अगर 0 ले लूं, if I choose P2 as 0, 2 P3 7 हो जाएगा, then P3 क्या होगा? 7/2 हो जाएगा. वो तो अलाउ नहीं है, because P2 ये सब इंटीजर होगा. हाँ,
यस सर.
तो P2 अगर हम 1 ले लूं, P2 1, चलो 1 अगर in place of this if you put 1, 2P3 will be what? 2P3 in that case 7 minus 1 6. तो P3 तब 3 हो जाएगा, P3 3 हो जाएगा. ओके?
ओके.
अगर P2 एंड P3 1 and 3 हो गया, पुट करो यहां पे, तुमको P1 मिल जाएगा 6. ओके?
हाँ सर.
देखो 6 + 1 7 + 3 10, वो 10 आ गया। ये एक पॉसिबिलिटी है, और कोई पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है। ओनली वन वन वे आई कैन चूज P1 P2 P3। लेट्स सी P2, अगर हम इफ आई चूज 2 P3, फिर फ्रैक्शन आ जाएगा, फ्रैक्शन तो नहीं चलेगा। अगर हम P2 3 ले लू, इफ आई पुट 3, बोलो P3 क्या होगा? 4 होगा, है कि नहीं?
हाँ सर।
2 P3 4 होगा, तब P3 2 आ जाएगा। तब P2 एंड P3 अगर 3 एंड 2 हो गया, तो रेस्ट P1 क्या होगा? 5। ओके।
यस। हाँ सर, गॉट इट।
और कोई पॉसिबिलिटी? तुम बोलोगे कि कितना टाइम करूंगा? अरे 7 को तो छोड़ के नहीं जाएगा ना, मैक्सिमम तो 7 होगा, है कि
हाँ
नहीं?
सर।
तो
यस सर।
हाँ, तो P2 3 हो गया 4, अगर 4 ले लिया जाए तो P3 फिर फ्रैक्शन आ जाएगा, 5 तब होगा। 5 P2 5 पुट किया, तब P3 क्या होगा? 2 P3 आएगा 2, P3 आएगा 1। अगर ये 5 एंड ये 1 आ गया, ठीक है,
यस सर।
ये 5 और ये 1 आ गया। देखो यहाँ पे 5 पुट किया, 2 P3 आएगा 2, एंड 5 एंड 4, दिस इज 4। और कुछ होगा? नहीं होगा, बिकॉज P2 अगर, हाँ, इफ आई टेक P2 एज 7, देन P3 0 आएगा। हाँ,
हाँ सर।
P3 0 आएगा, तब P1 क्या आएगा? 3। सो देयर आर 4 वे आई कैन चूज P1 P2 P3। तुम बोलोगे कि ये चूज का क्या होगा? यहाँ पे पुट करना होगा। नाउ ये जो वैल्यू मिला, इस ये यहाँ पे क्या होगा? देखो, अगर हम फर्स्ट ले लू, P2 क्या है? 1, P3 3, देखो x⁴ आ गया। हाँ, ठीक है।
यस सर।
सो लेट अस ओपन दिस सिग्मा। ये सिग्मा को ओपन करना होगा, एंड ये जो P1 P2 P3 पुट करना होगा। सिग्मा तो समेशन है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन डिफरेंट P1 P2 P3, हमको इसको समेशन निकलना है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल P1 P2 P3 6 1 3 विल चूज। फैक्टोरियल 10 1, P1 is 6, factorial 6, factorial 1, factorial 3. Now 3P2, 3P2 3 to the power 1 minus P3, first case 2 cube and x to the power 7. Okay, P2 plus 2 P3। फर्स्ट
यस।
फर्स्ट रो का जो वैल्यूज है हम पुट किया, और समेशन, नाउ पुट प्लस साइन। नाउ P1 is factorial 5. I am using different color to distinguish. Factorial 10 by P1 is factorial 5, P2 is factorial 3, and P3 is factorial 2. Now 3 to the power P2, 3 to the power P2, 3 to the power P2. P2 is what? 3 cube minus 2 to the power P3. You can say where is 1 to the power this? 1 to the power जो भी लोगे तो 1 ही होगा ना, इसीलिए नहीं लिया।
yes sir,
-2 to the power P3 हैज होगा 2 एंड देखो 3 और 2 पुट करो, x to the power 7 मिलेगा। तब x to the power 7 का कोएफिशिएंट निकल रहा है, तो ये रो लेके हमारा निकल गया x to the power 7 का कोएफिशिएंट। नाउ कम टू दिस रो, प्लस factorial 10 instead of P1, factorial 4 instead of P2, factorial 5 instead of P3, factorial 1. 3 to the power P2 means 3 to the power 5 minus 2 to the power P3 minus 2 to the power P3, that is 1 into x to the power 7. Last, this part, factorial 10, factorial P1, factorial 3, factorial 7, factorial 0. Factorial 0 is always 1, you know.
yes sir,
And here 3 to the power P2 means 3 to the power P2. P2 is 7 now. Then minus 2 to the power P3, that is 0, into x to the power 7. Okay.
okay sir,
So all coefficient of x to the power 7 in the expansion we have got. Now I will take x to the power 7 and next we will just calculate it. Calculation you can do by your own. It is so simple. Normal factorials concept. So this is minus 8 minus 24. I will keep like that. Factorial 10 into minus 24 by factorial 6, factorial 1, factorial 3 plus, because minus 2 whole square, minus will be absorbed, you will get factorial 10 by factorial 5, factorial 3, factorial 2 into 3 cube and into 4. Then factorial 10 minus plus minus, factorial 10, factorial 4, factorial 5, factorial 1. e to the power 5 is 243 into minus 2, that means minus 486. Already I have taken the minus outside. And last, factorial 10 e to the power 7 by factorial 3, factorial 0 is 1 into whole thing x to the power 7. Yes or no?
yes sir,
So this is the now calculation simple, you know, numerical calculation. This is the coefficient of x to the power 7. Okay.
7, okay sir,
Now let us see whether this type of sum, came in JEE in recent past or remote past, वो हमको देखना है। अगर नहीं आया तब तो करने का कोई मतलब नहीं है. But if it will be useful if you have to defend this type of sum in JEE. Okay.
हाँ सर.
See, once I search, I have got a sum which came in recent past 2023 January session. One sum of same type. The integer type question, coefficient of x to the power 7 in coefficient of x to the power 7 in 1 minus x plus 2x cube whole to the power 10 is, okay, it came in JEE 2023 April second shift.
Yes sir.
April 10th April. So we will proceed with the same concept which we have done few minutes back. See that expansion to be written in new form. Factorial 10 by P1 factorial, P2 factorial, P3 factorial into 1 to the power P1 minus x to the power P2 into 2x cube whole to the power P3. Okay.
Okay sir.
Same way where P1, P2, P3 are non-negative integers, so that P1 plus P2 plus P3 will be 10. P1 plus P2 plus P3 will be 10. Now, this will be rewritten in this way. See, this is 1 to the power P1 minus x, that can be written as minus 1 whole to the power P2 into x to the power P2, and this is 2 to the power P3 into x to the power 3P3. ठीक है, जस्ट बाय लॉज ऑफ इंडिसेस हमको हम सिंप्लीफाई किया, ओपन किया. ठीक है.
Okay sir.
नाउ जो x का जो पावर है उसको एक साथ लूंगा, और जो न्यूमेरिकल टर्म है वो दैट विल बी क्लब्ड इन ए ब्रैकेट. and so what did I consider, or what did I have in the question? What did I have? X to the power 7's coefficient we are told to find, that we have in the question, but हमको मिला क्या? x to the power p2 plus 3p3, तो यही तो 7 होगा, है कि नहीं?
हाँ सर।
So I can write p2 plus thrice p3 is equal to 7, and already we have got p1 plus p2 plus p3 is equal to 10. Now by choosing the values of either p2 or p3, we will solve these three variables equation, though two equations are given. That way which I had just shown to be recorded here. Okay?
Okay sir.
See, like the previous sum, let us draw the table. 1, 2, p1, p2, p3. See, like the previous sum, I will start to choose p2 as 0. Why? Non-negative. Non-negative means not less than 0. It can be 0 or more than 0, but integer. Yes or no? So
Yes sir.
I will start choosing p2 as 0. Then p3 will become fraction. Fraction to allow nahi hai. ठीक है? So
हाँ
p2 choose p2 0 must not be taken. Now I will take p2 as 1. Let us take p2 as 1. अगर 1 हो गया, 1 तो वो सब में जाएगा, तो p3 2 हो जाएगा, ये अलाउड हो गया, इंटीजर. ठीक है?
yes
अगर
yes
p2 1 एंड p3 2 हो गया, ये इक्वेशन में डालो, तो p1 7 आ जाएगा. हाँ,
हाँ सर.
ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, लेट अस चूज p2 as 3. नहीं होगा, बिकॉज p3 इन दैट केस इट विल बिकम fraction.
Right.
So discard. You choose p2 4. Choose p2 as 4. Then p3 will be 1.
1
तो यहाँ पे 4 and 1 पुट करो, p1 5 आ जाएगा. और कोई?
yes sir.
ठीक है, और कोई ऑप्शन है? नाउ 4 तक गया, 5 नहीं होगा, 6 नहीं होगा, ओनली वन ऑप्शन बचा है, 7. p2 7 चूज कर लिया, तब p3 0 आएगा, p1 3 आएगा. हाँ,
yes sir.
so it is simpler than the previous sum. Simpler than previous sum. So let us put these values in that expansion and see the outcome. First, write summation p1 is 7 factorial. Oh, summation का जरूरत नहीं है, summation is being withdrawn because I will write plus 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 है लिख के. First factorial 10, p1 factorial 7, p2 factorial 1, p3 factorial 2. 1 to the power p1 nullify, लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. देखो, okay, for the sake of calculation, if you wish, you can write 1 to the power 7 minus 1 to the power p2. p2 is 1. 2 to the power p3. 2 to the power p3. p3 is 2. And that is, you see, 7, x to the power 7. So these value, first row's value, I have put in place of p1, p2, p3. Okay.
P3.
Now
Yes.
skip to the next one. Plus factorial 10 by P1 is factorial 5, P2 factorial 4, P3 factorial 1. Now 1 to the power 5 minus 1 to the power 4 into 2 to the power 1 into x to the power 7. Last one, plus factorial 10. P1 is factorial 3. P2 is factorial 7. Then factorial 0. Next, 1 to the power 3. 2 to the powers minus 1 to the power no minus 1 to the power 7 and 2 to the power 0, then x to the power 7. Now from the whole expansion हमको x to the power 7 को common लेना है, हाँ?
Yes, sir.
We are in the verge of calculation. See, factorial 10. 10 into 9 into 8 factorial 7 cancel हो जाएगा. नीचे 2 1 to the power 7 वो तो 1 होगा, ये माइनस होगा, ये 4 होगा, माइनस 4 प्लस फैक्टोरियल 10 10 9 8 7 6 5 फैक्टोरियल 5 तो कट जाएगा, फैक्टोरियल 4 24 1 to the power 5 1, ये 1, ये भी 1 2. We are in the verge of calculation. See, much more simpler than the previous sum. And see how colorful sum this. That's why I am using different color. Okay.
Yes, sir.
10 9 8 factorial 7 तो cancel हो जाएगा, factorial 3 6 and last part देखो ये -1, ये है x to the power 7. Now हमको कैलकुलेशन करना है. ये कैंसिल हो गया 2 72 720 माइनस 1440. इसका कैलकुलेशन क्या होगा? देखो 6 12 2 and see 720 360 360 into 7 minus 72 into 10 by 6. So main hurdle we have crossed. Okay. 0 80. So 2520 minus 1520. Hope you are watching also. If any mistake occurs, must point out. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So it is 1000 x to the power 7. So coefficient of x to the power 7 is 1000. Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So, from what we have learned from multinomial theorem, you see, in this theorem, you have got one equation, yes or no, like this.
Yes, sir.
Now, in combination, you did the semblance of this. इसका एक तुमको टाइप मिल गया था जब वहां पे हम वो मल्टीनोमियल थ्योरम किया था। जो ये जो एक इक्वेशन है, इसका नंबर ऑफ सॉल्यूशन क्या है? नंबर ऑफ सॉल्यूशन
हाँ,
है, तब क्या होगा? टोटल वो जो स्टार बार मेथड दिखाया था ना, 7 स्टार और 2 बार, वो लेके जो फॉर्मूला n प्लस आर माइनस 1, उसको यहाँ पे इस्तेमाल करना होगा। यहाँ पे टोटल नंबर ऑफ टर्म n को हमको m नंबर ऑफ पार्टीशन में डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा। हाँ,
ओ
ठीक है। उस वो कॉन्सेप्ट से हमको नंबर ऑफ सॉल्यूशन निकालना है।
यस।
सो इन मल्टीनोमियल थ्योरम, x1, x2, x3 up to xm whole to the power n, whatever we have got, that summation of p1 factorial, p2 factorial up to pm factorial, where x1 repeats p1 times, x2 p2 times up to xm pm times, where p1 plus p2 up to pm is n, where p1 p2 up to pm are non-negative integral solution. Now the question is, how many solutions are there? How many solutions? So using the concept of the star bar method, here number of solutions n, total number to be divided into m group. So n plus m minus 1 by c m minus 1. Okay, this is the number of solution. Understand? So if any problem comes on this topic, those who do not know this formula, they will humble, because you know it is a multinomial theorem, and it is not like a binomial or simple a plus b whole square, that how many solution you can say. But n number, any number, 100, 200, the power can be given. So without knowing the shortcut trick, in short span, hardly any student can find the number of solution. What type of question we can expect in JEE? Suppose there is an expansion given, 1 plus 2x minus 7y plus z whole to the power 6. The number of terms, the number of terms, here how many term numbers? Looking at a glance, we can say m number, but there is the total number of terms. Number of terms in the expansion. Option A 83, B 84, C 85, and D 80. So once we have come to know this formula, so we can answer it in a second. See, what is n? N is 6. So number of terms, n is 6. M, what is M? You see, in here you observe M was what? 1, 2, these numbers are n. Yes or no? यहाँ पे जो partition है देखो 1, 2, 3 up to m, ये है m number of terms looked inside the bracket. ठीक है?
हाँ
तो यहाँ पे कितना नंबर is observed? 1, 2, 3, 4 है कि नहीं?
yes
So 6 plus 4 minus 1, C 4 minus 1. So 6 plus 4, 9, C3. Now एक कैलकुलेशन का जरूरत है. Factorial 9 by factorial 6, factorial 3, 9, 8, 7 by 6. So 84. Total cancel करके 84 मिला. So in a short span, if you once I know this formula, we can get the answer. Understand?
yes sir